I think they're real good. We had practice yesterday evening, walkthrough kind of practice, and their spirits are good. I mean, effort has never been a problem with our team. It's consistency, and that's what has to happen, is become a consistent team throughout the game. You just can't flip a switch and turn it on and turn it off. And at some point, these guys have got to learn to make a play to win the game versus making a play to lose the game, And somebody's going to step up. And I've been at the other programs I've been at where we've, and a lot of them were down. There's always one spark, and that's all it takes. And then it's like, hey, we can get this done. And I believe that's in them. And they're fighters. There's no give up in our guys. Coach Nystrom's preached effort and toughness since we got here. And the only thing we're lacking, offensively, is consistency. And as soon as they can, consistently perform at a high level, not go down, score, lull for 3 series, and maybe, and then, come back later on in the game, they need to consistently execute. It's what I always preach them: do your job. That's it, and don't worry about anybody else. Take care of your business, and good things will happen.
I think defensively, with plenty of energy. I always look at the willingness to prepare. Is that still there? Are you willing to go out on Tuesdays, and do the dirty work that it takes to be successful on defense, or do you start to back off and feel the bumps and bruises that you had this time of year a little bit more than you normally do? I'm not seeing any of that. I think our position meetings at 7 a.m. in the morning, the kids are there on time. They're taking notes. They're still in it. And, we're very young, so, we're always making sure that they understand that it's a process. And, the majority of the people in my room are going to be back here next year too. So it's a different approach. You always worry about your seniors a little bit, but most seniors want to put their stamp on their last year. And so we need those guys. We need those guys to stay engaged. We need them to still lead. We need them to win some games.
Looking at this week, what are you expecting from their defense this week?
Saginaw is real similar to our defense. They run the same type of scheme. Their tendencies are a 4-2-5 defense, but they'll go to a 4-3, and somewhat similar. They'll have a few wrinkles in, but that's every week. And they're tough. They're a good defense. Saginaw's a solid team. They've got good personnel. They run well. It'll be a challenge like every week is, and I think our guys will be up to the task. Where, like Coach Cannon said, meetings, everybody, quarterbacks, they're on spot. There's nobody drooping around. We've got a good room of quarterbacks, and we got 2 guys competing for a job right now, and that always makes it interesting. Competition's a good thing. If there is no competition, you can get some people taking it for granted. I'm the starter, and when you got people pushing each other, it makes them better. So things are good.
We'll flip it. What are you expecting from an
Saginaw, the first place I always look is the quarterback position. And they have a very solid multiple year starter in the Conklin kid, and he. He's not the runner that maybe we faced in the last 2 or 3 weeks, but he's a better thrower. He's very much an accurate guy. He's got good velocity. He can stretch the field, with his arm. but they're attempting to be a balanced team. So you see them use, a lot of different personnel groups to create some advantage in the run game. But the minute you overcompensate for that by loading the box or whatever, then he's going to throw it down the field. And we've got to be smart with our blitzes and try to pressure him at times to shorten the completions and to hurry up the whole idea and try to get some negative yardage out of it if we can't get some turnovers. And they're not into turning it over. They've had an interception or two here or there, but none of them are bad throws. They're people just batting it in the air, not catching it when they should have. Maybe drifting on a route or something. But he's a good player, and we'll have to play very, very well in the secondary to control their big play ability.
Is it difficult to switch from defending an option to a completely different?
Yeah, I think it's harder to go from a spread team, that's using 4 or 5 wide receivers out there, and then to get involved with, the physical play of the option teams. I would rather play, a non-option team with 4 days to get ready. But they're all hard. I think a lot of the offensive coaches, do a great job, including ours, in making sure that you can't tie in any of your calls with formations. You look at them and they're 50-50 on first down. They're 50-50 on third and short as far as throwing the ball or running the ball. The old days where, if they line up in this formation, they're going to run this play, long gone. The technology has helped offensive coaches self-scout in much less time than they normally would do, and you have to almost play every down as a could be pass, could be run. Very few tendencies being shown by teams, and that's what makes people tough to prepare for, is you have to prepare for everything.
Jake Mann, he's almost there. What does he mean to your offense?
That's a loaded question. Jake's a great player, and he's a special kid. He kind of epitomizes that effort and toughness. So he gets banged up, and he stays the course. I mean, he had 2 sprained ankles last year and played. And I mean, for him to be out of a game would be, it's got to be something serious for him. But it's just like the play on Saturday epitomizes him, where he gets tackled, gets rolled over. He rolls over the top of a kid, and he's up running. I mean, he doesn't stop, and there's not too many. We got a nice young back coming up, but Jake is. I mean, defenses have to gear to try to stop him. It's not like he's just a guy. They're gonna, they gear up to stop him. So when he goes off like he did Saturday, that's, you can attribute it to him, and you can attribute it to the offensive line. Because I heard a long time ago, any man can run through a hole, but it takes a real man to open the hole. And there's a lot of truth to that. And those guys did a good job opening holes. And sometimes when there wasn't one, he finds one. I mean, he just keeps rolling and spinning, and he's exciting to watch, even as a coach. I mean, you don't come across that many guys like him.